Welcome back to Winners and Losers, everybody, the show that looks at the highs and lows from around world football this weekend. I'm Joe, and as ever, I'm joined by Patrick.
And our first winner this week is Luis Suarez. It's been an incredible last couple of games for the Uruguayan. Joe.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than scoring 4 goals in consecutive games in La Liga. And Barcelona as well, really refining some form. An 8-0 win against Deportivo, a 6-0 win against Sporting Gijón. And the best thing is that Suarez is back doing what he always does best, finding the net, and he's even outshining Lionel Messi now.
He's been absolutely incredible. He's now the top scorer in La Liga with 34 and the top assist maker with 15. He's the first player since 1950 to get 4 goals and 3 assists in one game in the league. And his numbers in all competitions speak for themselves.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, 47 goals in 43 games he's now picked up. That's better than Messi's 35 and definitely better than Neymar's 26. He's outperforming them both. And that's really a surprise for me that Luis Suarez is now better than Messi in that MSN front line. He's more efficient going forward. Maybe he hasn't got the technical ability that Messi's got. I'm not saying that. But in terms of stats and goals, he's really outperforming them.
He's been absolutely staggering this season. He's so good. But what we want to know is, has he been the best Barcelona player this season? If you had to rank Messi, Suarez and Neymar, what order would you put them in? Let us know in the comments below.
Our first losers of the weekend are Stoke, who lost 4-0 again, Pat.
They've been absolutely dreadful. They've conceded 4 for the 3rd game on the trot. They're only the 3rd team in Premier League history to do that after West Ham in 2008 and Wigan in 2010. They've been diabolical. They've
been really, really poor. And for me, it's no coincidence that this has coincided with the loss of Jack Butland. Everybody will remember, of course, he broke his ankle playing for England against Germany. But since he's gone out of the side, Mark Hughes' team just seem bereft of any sort of defensive capability. Their positional sense is all over the place. Ryan Shawcross looks like a different man without the confidence of Butland behind him. And now Hughes could be in a little bit of trouble.
It certainly looks that way. I mean, he's invested in a lot of attacking talent, but the defence still seems a little bit suspect. They're 10th in the league, but their goal difference is -14. That's the 6th worst in the league. So perhaps we could see them slide down further if they don't right the ship.
Yeah, they really do need to right the ship. I mean, no clean sheets in their last 9 away games, and they've conceded 22 goals. So I think it's about time, Hughesy, you need to start signing some defenders.
Our second winner of the week is Man City youngster Kelechi Iheanacho. The Nigerian scored 2 goals as City thumped Stoke 4-0. Joe.
Yeah, Kelechi Iheanacho looks like a really interesting prospect to me. Everybody's been banging on about his stats over the weekend. Of course, 11 goals in just 8 starts for a 19-year-old is incredibly impressive, especially when you compare that kind of stats to the likes of Kingsley Coman, who's only scored 6 at Bayern Munich, and we all know about his ability. So I think Man City fans have a real right to start getting excited about Iheanacho, and he looks a really good partner for Aguero.
Well, it certainly looks that way. I mean, Aguero is in unbelievable form at the moment anyway. I think he's got 22 in his last 21. But Iheanacho, I'm not sure that he's a 9. I don't think he's a 10. He can kind of play wide. He can do all sorts of things. He really looks like an exciting prospect. He's riding the conversion percentages a little bit at the moment. Pretty much everything he hits is going in, and that'll start to come down. But he really looks like an outstanding player for the future. Yeah,
he really does. It's going to be very, very interesting to see where Guardiola utilises him. You talked a little bit about it there, Pat. Nobody's quite sure of his best position. Is he better on the fringes, playing off the shoulder of the striker? Is he better dropping deep? I kind of personally see that Guardiola uses him in a similar way to Coman, coming in off that left flank like United do with Martial. I think he'll use Aguero as a focal point of the attack. But Iheanacho, nevertheless, he definitely knows where the goal is, and that's got to be very exciting for Manchester City fans. Our next losers are Schalke, who had a terrible day against Bayer Leverkusen, Pat.
They were leading at the break, leading 2-0, and they had a penalty in the first half, which Huntelaar managed to miss. They ended up losing 3-2 to Bayer Leverkusen, and now they're down in 7th, though with a goal difference of -3. I've no idea how they're that high in the first place.
Yeah, you put that into context, that in the Premier League, West Ham are in 7th, and they've got a goal difference of +14. But they've been on some terrible, terrible form, Schalke. They've now lost 3 and drawn 1 of their last 4 Bundesliga games. They've conceded 3, 3, 2 and 3 in those games as well. And Schalke are now teetering. They really need to start improving because they're on very bad form.
But on the other hand, Leverkusen are a team on the up. They were kind of in the scrum earlier in the season for the Champions League places. Now they look like they're making 3rd spot their own. Javier Hernandez has scored his 17th of the season, and 19-year-old Julian Brandt, he scored for the 5th consecutive league game. The only player who's had a longer scoring streak than that as an under-20 was Gerd Müller in the 70s. That's unbelievable.
But what we want to know from you guys at home is, can Schalke finish in a European spot, or are they just going to miss out? Let us know in the comments below.
Our next winner of the weekend is Chelsea. In a rare bright spot for the Blues, they beat Bournemouth 4-1. Joe, tell me about it.
Yeah, it was a great day out for Goose Hiddink's side, and particularly for one man, Eden Hazard finally got his first Premier League goals of the season, and there were two really good goals as well. First one, absolute firecracker from outside the area, and it was finally like Eden Hazard was back, playing with a smile on his face, enjoying himself out there. It's like Chelsea know they haven't really got much to play for now. They're just going to enjoy these last few games of the season. Eden Hazard played very well. Fabregas got another 3 assists. Brilliant form. That's fantastic to get 3 assists in one game. And Pedro too, 5 goals in his last 7 games in all competitions.
Well, Fabregas is now on 95 assists in Premier League history. I think that puts him 3rd in the all-time tables. But there's still a lot of work to do at Chelsea. They've got the highest wage bill in the league, £215 million, and they've got a new stadium to build. So what's it going to be like for Conte? Yeah,
it's going to be a bit tough for Conte, but he's really going to have to put his stamp on that team. We know he's a big winner. We know that he likes to play in a very disciplined manner, similar to Mourinho. He's going to be looking for some strong midfielders, and I'm not sure they've got that. I think he's definitely going to have to sign at least one more midfielder. He liked to play with 3 at Juventus. It'll be interesting to see whether he plays the same way at Chelsea. So you've got Matic, Fabregas, and is John Obi Mikel the man to fill the other role? I'm not completely convinced he is.
Well, we've been hearing rumours about Roma's Radja Nainggolan. He looks like he might be on his way to Chelsea. We've also heard rumours about centre-back Kostas Manolas. But if you were Chelsea manager, who would you sign this summer? Who do they need to take them back to the top of the Premier League? Let us know in the comments below.
Our final loser of the weekend is an Arsenal man, Patrick, and it's Olivier Giroud.
I couldn't stand his performance. He was absolutely terrible. I don't really know what's going on with him at the moment. He hasn't scored a goal in 14 Premier League games, and he just seemed like the wrong fit for this match. I think Arsene was expecting that Sunderland would sit deep and try and soak up pressure, but it actually ended up being quite an open game, and Welbeck would have been a much better fit. We had Giroud pulling out wide, trying to get the ball into the box. I don't know who that was intended for. Watched him try and run in behind at some point. That was absolutely insane. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He set up one very good chance for Alex Iwobi, but that's pretty much all he did in the game, and it looks like there are places in that squad that are up for grabs with him and Walcott very out of form.
Yeah, and Arsenal as a unit are pretty out of form as well. They've won 3 of their last 12 away games. That is really not good enough form. They're starting to be caught now, and 4th place is right up for grabs.
Well, especially when you look at the fact that Arsenal had won 10 of their previous 12 away games. So the form has really dropped off, and now they're 5 points above United. United have a game in hand. Arsenal do have a little advantage in goal difference, but it's not looking great. And this should have been an easy walk to the Champions League places at least. I don't really know what's going on with Arsenal this late in the season.
Yeah, it's a typical Arsenal syndrome for me. That's what I think anyway. But what do you guys at home think? Why have Arsenal slipped to 4th? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Before we go, we had to give a final shout out in the winners category to Riyad Mahrez, who won the PFA Player of the Year, and Dele Alli, who won the PFA Young Player of the Year last night. Incredible seasons for both of them.
Yeah, incredible, but I want to give a loser's shout out, and it's going to go to Mamadou Sakho, who failed a drugs test at the weekend. What a knob.
What a naughty boy. So those were our winners and losers for this week, but who did we miss out? Who should we have included? Let us know in the comments.
And if you enjoyed this video, why don't you check out our top 10 most hated footballers playing on screen, and there's a link in the description. And as ever guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Catch you next time.